Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. It's me, Oz. Jack and Lady are still Lake Jackson. I'm here in my kitchen and I'm struggling with this new light setup. My old one broke, like the wires all came loose, and I just ain't got time for all that stuff. So I'm working on this new one, so bear with me. This one, oh man, I'm gonna do like vegetable medleys. Now this you can do like any one particular veg that we're doing here, just do it that way, but I like putting it all together and doing it once, mostly just because I didn't want the veg to go bad. So, that's awesome. Before we get into it, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y stuff, ring the little bell down in that corner to get notifications when we do this. The shadow when I do that. I hate that light stuff. Also, there's a link down in the doobly-doo. It's got our merch, like I got aprons and pot holders and fake hands and spatulas, flippers, spoons, and that's it, but I can autograph any of those for you. That's cool. But we're a small business, we appreciate it. And let's just get into the vegetable. All vegetable stuff this time, man. All veggies. Alright, super simple. Now you can do one of these vegetables or all of them. I'm doing like Brussels sprouts and some cauliflower and a couple heads of broccoli. It just depends on what you want to do. Now, make sure they get those nice clean. It's Texas. I'm going to use jalapeno, and because it's me, I'm going to throw in some garlic. So that's going to be a thing that's going to happen. And you're going to need a glass container to cook it in. You're going to want some olive oil. The light stuff for the extra virgin, it's up to you. I just threw that in there. You're going to need a cup of that. And then something to season it with. I'm going to use Italian seasoning, but I've seen people do it with like Tony Chachere's, the Slap Your Mama stuff, salt, pepper, curry, whatever. Oregano usually works really well. Or you can just go old school and just do salt and pepper, man. That's fine. Absolutely, it's a throwback. Everybody loves it. The first things to do is wash your vegetables. So now I've got them nice and washed. We're going to cut them up here. Get you a nice sharp knife and a bowl to mix them in. And you want to preheat your oven to 400. So we get it like nice and cooking while you're cutting all this stuff up. Get you a nice sharp knife. Again, shout out to Andy. Now your garlic, pull the skin off of it. I had a friend, ex-girlfriend, that had cooked some spaghetti stuff and left the skin on, so the garlic was a nice mouthful or whatever. Get you your knife here, just cut it down into small pieces. Doesn't have to be super small, doesn't have to be perfectly diced or minced or teeny tiny stuff, or you just use the pre-minced stuff, whatever. Throw that garlic into your bowl off to one side. Again, if you don't have a big bowl, like a big pot will work. Even a big fat pot will be fine. Jalapeno, again, optional. Go ahead and cut the stem off. Now remember, that vein right there is where all the capsaicin sits, okay? So I just cut this into rounds. Again, if I wanted to add, I was just trying to add a little bit of jalapeno flavor without actually adding a lot of the spice. So if you want more spicy stuff, add more and leave the veins in. Like I just pull these out. Like, don't need the capsaicin, just put the flavor in there. You're good. Broccoli, as long as it's cleaned, you just want the top hit. The florets is what they call it. Just take your knife, cut these loose, boop, boop, and just does the whole thing. Now that stem, it works really good. If you got any animals, they will love you if you throw it to them. Or you can just cook it and put it in some ranch stuff. That's fine. Cauliflower, same thing. It's always got this big bunch of green wrapped around it. Cut that down until you can reach into the stem. It's going to be rough on your knife, but once you get that down in there, you can just reach in, cut the stem, and then cut the florets of the cauliflower out. As a matter of fact, it's so dense. As I love a good cauliflower, Jack's mother-in-law, Letty's mom, has an awesome roasted cauliflower recipe I'd love to get done and do it properly. But they're so dense that they're usually not as cooked through as the rest, which I like. I want my vegetables to have a little crunch to them. I hate like soggy, wilted, like gross vegetables, so that's perfect for me, but that's up to you. You want to cook that separate. The Brussels sprouts, your baby cabbages, man, you can just leave them whole. That's fine. I just take them and cut them in half. I think I did the pan-fried versions of these to harass my sister, but that's just the best way to do it. It gets the steam on the inside, lets it cook down. So once to get this in here, we're going to go ahead and dress it while it's in the bowl. So you want to get like your olive oil. It's got to be fancy, so you pinky out. Get you your cup or half cup. You just want to do about half cup. I think I went over on this one, so almost like 2/3. But just get you half a cup of oil, and put it in here. You don't drizzle it with half a cup. You're just kind of drowning it. Go ahead and put that all over the top, and then you're going to set another half of the oil aside, because a lot of these vegetables, I know it's not porous, but because it's open and it has all the leaves and stuff, it does tend to have a lot of the oil that sits in it, so you need to mix that around. So get you another half and just set it over to the side. So once you get this, then you want to put whatever seasonings you're doing. I'd love to do like some spicy vegetable or whatever. I'm just using my Italian seasoning here, just a nice tablespoon of this. Just go ahead and just sprinkle it around the top, and then you get your Fork and spoon, which is a big wood ones. I always see these on like old people's walls in kitchens, and like the old cafes and stuff always have them. But I think this is one of the few times I ever use it. Now, give them a toss. Be gentle with it. You don't want to break apart all your Brussels sprouts. You don't want to smash everything else, but or spill it or have vegetables on the run. Give it a nice toss. Make sure that oil gets a little bit of a coat on everything, and that seasoning gets moved around. So, because if not, the seasoning is going to sit on top, and that'll taste awesome. But the rest is going to taste like vegetables. Go ahead and get that other half a cup of oil and put it right on top after you've already tossed it once. Toss it a little more. There's a lot of tossing here. Now, if you want to add anything else, salt and pepper, I put a little bit here, but that's not going to get it very mixed. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in my decent sized here, oven-proof pan, man. Don't want to get in there and have that shit shatter. So make sure it's good for being in the oven. It'll say on the bottom, and get it in there, get it mixed up. And this is where you want to put your salt and pepper on it, right? Just give it a little sprinkle. I don't like using a lot of salt, mostly because I have other seasoning and stuff on it, and I want to taste the vegetables. A little bit of pepper. Again, I've already got jalapeno in there, so that's just optional. So you put it in there for 20 minutes, all right? You can stir it around to get the salt and pepper across there, but if you got a good coat on it, you're good to go. So once it's preheated, now be sure to use your fake hand here, especially one that says "How fuck that's hot." That's one of ours. Go ahead. Just get used to using that, because if I use it when it's cold, I'll use it when it's hot. So after 20 minutes, pull this out here. You can get a good look at it. Then we're gonna go ahead and stir it again. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I don't know if I do this too much. I just want the seasoning to do it. I don't want it to cook all on one side or whatever. So I'll pull it out, do it in here, and you want to do it for at least another 5 minutes. Now, if you're worried about the cauliflower being too stiff or whatever, go ahead and put it in for 8 to 10, but check it. Don't let your vegetables burn. I'm just going to do this for another 5. This is 25 minutes total in there. After 5 minutes of stir, and these are ready to go. Like, this is great. Again, I use this as just a meal to itself, just sitting aside. This is more than enough vegetables for a lot of people. If people are just vegetable averse or just don't like it or demand meat, this is a great side. This is something you can pack up and take to, parties, party bladders, that kind of stuff. Great for like Thanksgiving, because everybody else wants to bring meat or chips or drinks, and the one poor guy always brings the ice. Go ahead and bring some vegetables, kind of throw everybody off. Again, all these vegetables are interchangeable, man. If you don't want to put Brussels sprouts in there, add more broccoli or add less cauliflower or whatever. It's up to you. These are great. It reheats great during the week, so it's good for meal prep. And it's decently healthy, so give it a try. So there you have it, folks. Roast vegetables that are straight. Like, these are great for a side. This thing taken to a thing where you got multiple people that eat different things. Like, this is great. I just use it as a full meal by itself, mostly because I've been losing weight. Down 40 pounds. How awesome is that? But yeah, I put this on here to prove that I actually do these. Now, my dad wants me to eat it, but I don't know if you know this, but I have misophonia, and I have to edit this, and I don't want to hear me eating. So I don't eat it on camera, but rest assured that I actually, that's still hot. I actually eat it. So if you do this, you do it differently, let me know. If you use different vegetables or you don't do, like, put it down in the comments. That's what they're there for. We check those, we reply to them. It gives Jack something to do. And so that's awesome. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon, where all those are in between Paycheck's Kitchen. You can also find us on Instagram. In between, we had to shorten it down over there. You find me, Oswary Nerdy, on all of those, including Twitter for most of the nerd stuff, and TikTok. I haven't posted a lot lately because I've been busy and dealing with my own depressive episode, but I'm over there. Just come check it out. We'll talk some nerd stuff. I will see y'all next time. I got vegetables I gotta eat. Boy, if my 12-year-old self heard me say that, I'd beat my own ass.